All right. So, all right, Army, talk about how you got started. Let's go there.
Yeah, Army. So joining out of high school, I didn't really know what I wanted to do. It was a very, I mean, it's like a sure thing, right? They guarantee you what job you're going to have. They tell you you're going to have all your college paid for.
Right.
It's a way to get out of the place that you're in.
Yep.
So I left, I was 17. I joined, actually, I was like a DEP, which is a delayed entry program for like 9 months.
Okay.
So I was like, my whole senior year already had this plan of going into the Army.
And I love on your website, you went from prom dresses right into the Army. So I love that's a great transition. So share that experience. What was it like? Did it, far exceed your expectations, friends, relationships, mentors? So what was it like being in the Army?
Yeah, the Army was like nothing I knew.
Right.
You had this community that I hadn't had before in my past.
Right.
You're relying on each other, right? You're like at war, you're in the desert, you're stuck with these people that you don't really know, you create these bonds with, and then you're doing very stressful things on top of that. Like not even in a stressful place, like stressful things, like doing air traffic control. We were at a facility in Iraq that's the equivalent to Phoenix Airport. So we were moving.
It was hopping, right? Yeah, like this was high stress.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. Right. It was a lot of fun. It had its down moments, right? There were always like the dark sides of the military.
Right.
But I try to take all the positives that came from that.
Right. Awesome. Yeah. So let's go a little bit further. So I know you eventually met your business partner, but just, share is like, 17, 18-year-old, impressionable, young, you're a war hero, you go to Iraq, like, what were talk about like some mentors or like maybe your superiors?
Well, it's interesting because I turned like 19 in Iraq. So I was super young.
Yeah.
Me and Lacey met, we were there. Our unit was there already before I got there. I was a late deployer.
Okay.
So being 18 years old, going to a place where all of these people already have this tight connection, it's scary. It's scary to do that. I had a lot of people that were higher ranking that believed in me, right? I mean, we always have people that believe in us if we don't believe in ourselves. We're our own worst critic. But yeah, I had a few people that really put me into these positions and allowed me to, I don't want to say like have this power, but have the responsibility, right? Of controlling all these aircraft. And it was a lot. And not only that, but we had to train each other. So we were training other soldiers to be able to do this job and make sure that they could do it safe.
Yeah.
So it was just a constant learning. Yeah.
Great experience. And again, thank you for your service. Thank you for serving our country. Thank you for being a war hero. What a privilege it is to be here. So again, if you're just joining us, we're here with Megan, and Lacey's out there, her partner. Lacey couldn't be with us. She's down in Washington. We're actually in Anchorage, Alaska. I just got a wonderful tour of Elevated Oats here. It's in Anchorage, and it's just a phenomenal, what an inspiration. So before we get into your entrepreneurial journey, let's, big shout out and love to Lacey out there. So Lacey, thank you we miss you. Wish that you were here. But let's, so you transitioned out of the Army and you're an air traffic controller. And again, like, high stress, talk a little bit about that experience as an air traffic controller. And then I want to slide into like your that aha moment of like, I want to be an entrepreneur, but just share about when you got out of the Army and what did that look like?
So when I got out, Lacey and I weren't really talking, not that we weren't friends.
Yeah. Just went different directions. She
went on different ways. Right. So I think the dream as an air traffic controller is to do it as a civilian because it is a lucrative job. It is a lucrative career.
Yeah.
So I got out during a hiring freeze, which was not the best plan.
Yeah. What year was this?
This was 2012.
Okay.
Got out in 2012.
10 years ago. Yep.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Went to school full time. So I got my bachelor's and then I started working on my master's. I got a job finally working in the DoD in Hawaii. I had already worked at that tower. So it was pretty easy to just kind of go back into the flow.
Yeah.
I was there for a year and some change and I applied for the FAA and I got picked up.
Nice.
So went to the FAA in San Jose, California, not San Jose Airport. It was Reed Hillview Airport, which is smaller off to the side. they deal with all general aviation aircraft. So a lot of foreign training people,
Nice.
2 parallel runways. It was only 3,000 feet. So you were just moving people.
Constant.
It was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Big rushes on the weekends.
Big,
right.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that was good. It was a good job, but I was my values were really into starting a family, having a relationship, and also wanting to grow professionally too, but not seeing those two go together.
Right.
So I met my second husband.
Okay.
He moved to the Big Island. I got a job back on Oahu.
Yeah.
We lived apart for a year doing it. And then I was like, well, what am I doing here? I'm going to try to do something entrepreneurial. Try to get out of just working for the government and grow in my own way. I took a job that was less money, still working for the government on the Big Island, and then started an Airbnb with my ex-husband. We had that for 2 years. I started selling salads on the side. I got certified as a personal trainer.
Right.
So I started kind of shifting into this. How can I
It's like you're hustling.
my health?
Yeah. Hustling and health. Okay.
Hustling and health. Yeah.
Yep.
How can I help people improve their health on the other side? How can
Yep.
I get out of this thing that I don't really like, that doesn't feel like it's growing for me, but find something that I'm passionate about? And as things were going on, my husband had a psychotic break, which had no clue, right? Life just the rug was swept from underneath me. I moved to Alaska into my dad's basement. I had no plan. And now I was already trying to transition out of working for the government and in this aviation job. I was making oats as a snack to go with these salads. You're seeing Alaska now, but produce here is not abundant, especially in the winter time, right? You're working with glass. Okay. So it wasn't quite fitting. In the oats, it was. Now, the interesting thing is I'm I can have a cafe and I can serve people. And this was my thought then. So now my thoughts have totally changed. I'm I can serve people, but I like to eat with them. And how can I reach more people with this message, with something better? And that was manufacturing. I know that I can make a lot of this granola at once, have a solid operation, and then push it out to more people, affect more people.
Right.
So that really was the driver behind being a manufacturer.
Right.
Yeah. And then it just kind of didn't stop. Once it was okay, elevated oats is a thing. I reconnected with Lacey. She made a logo. Then she started making stickers, and it just turned into us lifting each other up.
Right. Rekindling a bond from,
healing,
healing
from a lot of past stuff. And then helping people also. I
absolutely love it. And so the thing is, I know you put out a post, so you describe, and if you go to their website, elevatedoats.com, and you check out all this amazing product that they have right here. And it's great. You have a great story on your website, and just, and I know for other marketers out there, always talk about having that story. And you talk about, being at your dad's, coming back to Alaska, and you put out a post on Facebook, and Lacey, sees that post. It was that, that rekindling connection between the two of you. And so let's talk about was there an aha moment? Was it a gradual, hey, what do you think? Or how did you take that plunge into entrepreneurship and become a manufacturer?
Well, so it was an idea.
Mm-hmm.
We're here in Alaska, and have you heard of cottage food laws?
Mm-mm.
Okay, so cottage food laws you can do with low risk food items, and you can make them at home. So you're not paying for overhead, and then you're selling them just directly to consumers. So you're a manufacturer, but you can't just go and put it on the shelf at a store. The limit in Alaska is $10,000 gross annually. So
it's a hobby.
It's a hobby.
Right.
Exactly.
Trade shows and that type of thing, right?
We got the business license August 2nd. Sold, mind you, I moved to Alaska July 19th. Right. Got the business license August 2nd. Sold our first bag of granola October 26th.
Right.
Within the first year, I was well, we're going to sell over $10,000 next year.
You're not a cottage business anymore.
I'm
right?
We're not going to try to, why wouldn't we want to grow?
Sure.
Happened to find this location, which was a Pizza Hut.
And
cleaned it up, spent a few months, really getting it. I mean, there used to be a wall where we were sitting. Getting it up to where we needed it to be for permitting. And by April, we were DEC approved wholesale manufacturers and
Right.
getting it out there. So I don't think we ever thought, like, it was definitely
Right.
not a thought. It was just like, oh yeah, this would be the next thing
Right.
to grow. This is the next thing to
Right.
grow. This is the next, and
Right.
it's really gotten solid over the years. Right,
Right.
now we know who we're talking to. Now our packaging is a lot more
Right.
clear on what it
Right.
says. Our messaging, like
Right.
just in online marketing too.
Right.
We've learned a lot.
You've learned a ton. So, all right, let's dig into we've got the products right here in front of us. You want to talk about, like, I believe you're a big banana fan. Did I see that? Like, is that how the brainchild came out with the first
All
product?
started. Yeah.
Right. Banana was the culprit, right?
Our banana nut bread has bananas as a second ingredient. And this
Nice.
one, banana was the only healthy thing that I could make with
Yeah.
the bananas.
Yeah.
I was making like cakes and pies, and I was like, this is not what I'm trying to do here.
Right.
And people loved it.
Right.
People love, I mean, it tastes like banana bread, except
Right.
it's gluten-free.
Right.
You feel better about it because it's
Right.
full of like nuts and nutrient dense
Right.
things.
Right.
And yeah, we started there, but I was like, I think if we could do this with bananas, we have to be able to do this with other things.
Sure.
Right.
Sure.
So beets, we put beets in our cranberry cashew chew, and it ends up having this beautiful pink granola.
Nice. Yeah.
We use carrots in our toasted orange amaretto. And then what I learned about Alaska is that because the sun is out in the summer,
Yeah.
like, right, we
All
have
the time. Right.
land of the
Right.
midnight sun.
Right.
The vegetables never
Right.
tap into their reserves.
Right.
So since they're always like sucking up all of this energy, they're actually
Right.
20% sweeter.
Oh, really?
So we take Alaskan fruits. Well, I wish we could get Alaskan bananas, but that's not a thing.
Yeah.
We
Right.
take Alaskan vegetables like beets and carrots and put those in here
Right.
to add that natural sweetness to our granola,
Right.
and not add like more sugar on top of it.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So talk about, like, I know you have a bunch of like raving fans, your customers, you're popular here in different stores throughout Alaska. We need to get them down to the lower 48. So definitely you want to check out Elevated Oats. Talk about, like, the feedback and just like what I know you guys take a lot of pride, the fans that you have and the positive testimonials that you hear back from customers. Just share a little bit, like, what are some of the positive things that you hear from people that are just raving about Elevated Oats?
Oh man, I think the user generated content, the reviews, it always surprised me and blows me away.
Yeah.
I'm always shocked. It's special. It's special to know that you're creating something that people are consuming, right? Because we make 35,000 choices a day. Like, you are choosing everything that you want to do.
That's right.
And if you're choosing to eat our food and then you're choosing to tell us about it, that is like huge.
Right.
And not only that, but people with celiac, like, we didn't realize how important gluten-free was for people. Celiac disease may only affect like a small percentage, but 25% of Americans follow a gluten-free diet just because of sensitivities and things like that. So we use all gluten-free everything. That's huge for us. And I think we've gotten that response, and it's only made us value that even more.
Right. So let's go here. And I know you're super busy, man. I've had an amazing tour. We've been geeking out for, talking about business and stuff. So let's not that I would have talked for hours, but let's talk about the Alaska MEP. So I know, like, for an entrepreneur, it takes a village, right? It takes a village to raise a business. And, I know you've shared, you have a lot of friends, mentors, dad, there's a lot of people, you talk about from the Army to, like, now with your business. So Dr. Alyssa Rodriguez, we want to give a shout out, Sammy Joe Lewis, so working with the MEPs, Manufacturing Extension Partnership, what has just describe, I know, like we were talking about, like Phil, with your processing. We've worked with Lacey on some in Wesleyan. Our friend Wesleyan Greer has worked with Lacey on some marketing strategies. Just share a little bit about, like, what the Alaska MEP has done for Elevated Oats.
Yeah, I actually didn't know anything about the MEP. I had found out about it when I came here and met someone in the ecosystem, and they were like, oh yeah, this thing. And actually, when I moved here, this was 3 years ago and some change, I don't think the MEP actually was a thing here. I think the program had kind of dissipated. And so when Alyssa came in with Sammy Joe, and it was like, I've been looking for it. And then it was finally a thing. And I'm like, oh yeah, definitely want to connect. They connected us with so many people. And then, the training that we've had, and it's not just like me and Lacey that have had training. Corey's gone through things. I had previous employees that went through other training for us. So it's been It's been huge. Corey just did this class on like the 3 S's with Phil from Lean,
Right,
Alaska.
right.
So Corey went to his webinar, and then we had Corey come back and teach us everything that he learned. Yeah.
Right. Isn't that phenomenal? It's just great for for entrepreneurs, it can get pretty lonely out there at times, right?
Yeah.
It gets a little stressful, and just knowing that there's, just those trusted resources that come in and just, dedicated, objectively on your success.
And manufacturing is its own thing too, right?
Absolutely.
Like that's its own special thing. It's its own business, whole plan model. You got lean, like there's so much to it.
Right.
Yeah.
And again, I know you're busy. Let's talk about the website real quick. So like, you sell your product online. So let's talk, I'm an e-commerce guy, and I know you guys were talking, we were talking with Lacey on the phone. We were going through like a whole little strategy session. We're geeking out on a bunch of different things. Talk about like what's been working well, or like e-commerce for you guys. I know that you're experiencing some really healthy, positive growth there.
Yeah.
You're excited about the future here at Elevated Oats? What do you see for the future of e-commerce for you?
So what we've started doing this last year is a limited edition flavor. So we have like our 4 flagship flavors that we do wholesale. We get those now in over 100 locations throughout Alaska.
Right.
But our limited edition flavors are special.
Nice.
So this on the 1st, actually.
Yeah.
Crazy. We're releasing Basic Batch, which is a pumpkin spice type of flavor.
Nice.
We put pumpkins as the second ingredient.
Right.
We use a locally sourced ingredients. So we got the spice from Summit Spice and Tea Company.
Right.
It's very nice because it's a way for us to like be creative still.
Right.
We have these 4 things that work so well. And now that we're like deeper in the business, we're like, okay, we're just passing. These are the things. These are the 4 things. This is like, okay, let's make something fun. Like what is going to be our next one? And we get to have, it's special between our team, we get to be like, okay, well, how are we going to create this next thing? So you get the input from everybody, but we don't do these wholesale. So our limited edition flavors, we only do retail.
Retail only,
just for our customers to try out first, so that we can get the feedback to know whether or not to even bring it on as a flavor.
Man, brilliant, absolutely brilliant. And like, let's just show. So, man, just for the holiday season, what a great product here. Very, seasonal. Again, opportunity for you guys to be creative and take as you said, the flagship brands, do something new and fun. Now the branding. Yeah, I tell you, the packaging is it's phenomenal. You guys do a great job on your website. You've got, we always talk about like that buyer persona. We see your buyer personas like running up the hill, like that's you're targeting like, busy, healthy moms, fitness, that type of thing, hikers, bikers, mountain bikers. Talk a little bit about, branding and the packaging for, say there's a new entrepreneur, a new manufacturer out there. How, talk a little bit about your branding strategy.
That's definitely all Lacey.
That's all Lacey.
That's all Lacey.
We love you, Lacey.
She's the brander. I will tell you, she's told me several things.
Right.
You want the name to be on every side of the package, right? So that they are seeing this name. We go into, so we have these small snack packs. Let me grab one.
Sure.
We kind of think of it like, well, if you're a consumer, where are you looking? We have these clever ideas, right? But we're still learning. So it's like, okay, we have the small snack pack. We want to put our women veteran owned on it. We put it on the bottom, which was great. Not on the big ones. The big ones, it's on the back.
But you do have a little message here on the bottom.
We do. Yeah. Made with love, this sincere but savage kind. It's a nice little Easter egg.
Nice.
Yeah. Love this. Don't know how many people actually look at the bottom, of a package. So that's kind of like changed things.
Right.
We've changed packaging 3 times in the last year, which sounds crazy, but it's because we've learned, gotten a lot more solid on who the customer is. So our very first ones where we were putting everything in bags ourselves, we still had this white, nice look. Our second one that we did, we went a little darker and we're like, we're a snack, right? And thinking like pistachio, we have like these beautiful black bags.
Right.
Black bags were cool. Everybody thought it was a national brand.
Yeah.
Didn't have like the homey feel to it. It just didn't talk to our person, our Julie, right?
Yeah.
So we went, Lacey was like, oh, I'm going to do something totally different. And I mean, the color, like that's our thing. Like our thing is color. Not only are our packaging colorful, like our granola's colorful. And then you have this person that's outdoors. You have a mountain, right? There's so much just to speak to our person.
Right. Made with love, the sincere but savage kind. I just drop the mic on that. That is just absolutely awesome. Okay, so tons of cover, tons. You have a really exciting program event that you have coming up that you wanted to talk about.
Oh yeah, we're doing a fundraiser for the month of November. It's called November. Well, I'm calling it November Giving Away.
Nice.
We have several businesses that are donating, and we're curating this box to be like for health and wellness, like mind, body, and soul.
Nice.
So we have someone that's donating a year-long, or it's not even a year, I think a lifetime app membership for like binaural beats and subliminal messages for meditating, things like that to improve yourself. We have Anchorage Yoga. They're donating a virtual class package. So no matter where you're at, you can like do this yoga with us.
Yeah.
We have all of our limited edition flavors from the last year.
Oh, nice.
That we're going to throw in there. So if you missed on lemon berry muffin or pineapple habanero or rhubarb crisp, I know all of these are going to be in there. And then we got a lot of companies that are military affiliated. So either wives or veterans, a couple prints from here in Alaska. Everybody's here in Alaska, which is really, really great. But it's going to be $1 raffle tickets on our website for this box. 100% of the proceeds are going to be going to Mount Sinai, which is in New York. And they study alternative therapies for PTSD and trauma for veterans.
Great. Yeah. Awesome. Well, very admirable, super exciting. As we wind down, last thoughts, what's the future here for Elevated Oats?
Oh man. We just talked for 2 hours about pivoting. Future for Elevated Oats. We are going to focus
move the needle.
We're going to move the needle. We're going to focus on retail. We're going to have something new in this space. And we're going to create a lot more new flavors.
Right. And so a lot more folks can get access to this. So again, you want to check out elevatedoats.com.
Yeah.
You guys sell direct right on the website.
We ship nationwide.
Right.
We do free shipping over $75.
Right. Ship to the lower 48. Yep. So, all right. My last question for you, again, our admiration, our thanks to you for veteran, war hero, so on and so forth. One question that I always love, so Damon, if you're out there, dude, I miss you, but we're going to do a LinkedIn Live on Friday up here in Alaska. But, inspiration. Okay. We love you and I love talking about inspiration. Lacey, we're talking about inspiration. So I love asking this question. Who I know your dad's a big influence on you. You talked about early in the service. Today, who's your inspiration that gets you up and fires you up for your business on a regular basis? Who's your inspiration?
Oh man, I think first thought is the community, like the people that we get to provide it to. Because it wouldn't be a thing without them, right? It's the people that believe in us. It's the people that try it and eat it and buy it. Like it changes our life.
It changes, and you think about, I know if you follow you guys on Facebook and social, you guys do hikes every so often, right? Every month you bring the community together and it's just so inspiring and you just see everybody going out. And so the nice thing is what I love what you do is you're connecting with your folks on a face-to-face basis. You're getting out in the community. Lacey's down the lower 48. She's drumming, she's pounding the pavement, doing her thing of, connecting with folks. And so my last question, brand new entrepreneur out there, you 10 years ago, there's a Megan 10 years ago. What advice do you have for that entrepreneur that wants to tip their toe into manufacturing, or they see a dream, they look at you and see you as an inspiration? Man, I want to do something like this. What advice would you tell yourself or tell that new entrepreneur? We're going back 10 years ago. What would you share?
A few things. It's a marathon.
It's a marathon. It's not a sprint, right?
It's not a sprint.
That's
it
right.
is a marathon. It's about the journey.
It's about the journey.
It's not about the destination.
It's
about the journey.
Drop the mic.
Right. And we are so powerful. And I think that when we started this, we were in such a different place, and we've just really elevated our lives, to be in this place now. And the things that we have are so much harder to do, but you train yourself to be so much more capable.
Yeah.
You know, it's just a constant practice.
Yeah.
Constant practice. Don't give up.
Don't give up. And
Don't
even
give
like
up.
this wonderful facility, you know, thank you for the tour. We said, you know, you have automation, you've got great machinery, equipment, and just, you know, just think how you've grown as an entrepreneur, you know, even just in the past year, right? Like we're constantly growing, learning, and going, and so on and so forth. So guys, we'll wrap up. Megan's busy. We need to get her on with her day. And so I don't know what time on the East Coast. I don't even know what time it is.
Yeah, the sun's going to go down
it,
here in probably like an hour.
That's right. So, hey, thank you for anybody out there. We appreciate you. We appreciate Megan. Let's give a big round of applause for Megan, just out here crushing it. Lacey, we send our love to you, my friend. We're going to get you live next time. So we might be doing a LinkedIn live together with Damon on Friday. And so, boy, if you didn't get enough of Megan today, we're going to be at the Alaska MEP on Friday doing some more. So guys, go out there, and boy, what an honor, privilege, you know, salute your veterans, our war heroes like Megan. And thank a manufacturer. Go out there and thank a manufacturer. And just, boy, if you have an entrepreneurial dream, surround yourself with either MEPs or the Small Business Development Center, the SBDCs. There's tons of resources to help you on your entrepreneurial journey. Go out and get some elevated oats, especially these unique brands for the month. So, hey, we'll wish you guys a happy Wednesday. Go out and, you know what, just be someone's inspiration. That's what we like to say. And
elevate
so,
your life.
Parting words for everybody.
Just, live an elevated life, right? Do granola that does life.
I can't even top that. So, all right, we're going to go have some more fun. We'll see you guys soon. Thanks.